Welcome to DABCC Radio,
where smart people listen.
Virtualization and Cloud Talk,
Featuring cutting-edge solutions from the hottest companies around the globe.
broadcasting from the DABCC offices in sunny Sarasota, Florida.
Surrounded by computers, books, and Legos.
A Microsoft MVP, Citrix Charter CTP, VMware vExpert.
And your host, Douglas Brown.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of DABCC Radio. Today we have SMSPassword with us today, and we have Dennis, the founder, the main coder, the inventor of SMSPassword, and I think you guys are really going to love this solution. It's very lightweight. It works out of the box. It's easy to install. There's no admin interface. It just works, and it gives you that added level of security, that second authentication level that everyone needs in today's world. So I really looking forward to learning more myself and sharing it with you guys. So with no further ado, let's jump into my podcast, my interview with Dennis, the founder of SMSPassword. Okay, buddy, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. We've been wanting to do this for a long time, so I'm really looking forward to, one, learning about what you guys are doing and in more detail than I have in the past, and two, just getting to chat with you. So I'm really looking forward to this.
It sounds good.
So as always, let's my first question is, who are you and what do you do? So can you tell us who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, my name is Dennis Smith. I'm from the Netherlands. I've been working in IT for 20 years now, and the last 10 years I also create software, mainly utilities and programs for Citrix, supporting administrators. And last 2 years, I've been busy creating the company SMSPassword.
Very cool. And you've been in the Citrix world for, a long, long time, right?
Yeah, I think like 1998.
Yeah.
Started, first the classical path, you start with your Microsoft certification. Once done with that, I was on the path to either choose Cisco or Citrix, and I chose Citrix.
You chose wisely.
Yeah. That's almost 18 years now. And always a nice thing to do.
Yeah, and you're yet another Dutch, a really smart Dutch guy that does Citrix.
Yep. From school out, I got to learn software development, and as I got into working, I actually was more of got to work in management, network management. Always the software development skills were always there. So
it's fun to code.
And
I can dabble with it. I'm not bad, but I'm not good. But I really love it. It's actually one of my favorite things to do in the whole wide world. I rebuilt the ABCC. I did that all myself, and which was just, I love doing it. It's my favorite thing, I think, to do in tech is to write code. I don't know why. I think it's just because you get to start with nothing and build something. It's like the ultimate engineer.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're saying. It's like you from scratch up, you build something, and it's really nice to see it working and people working with it, and people taking benefit from it. That's also very satisfying. Yeah, exactly.
Very satisfying. So that being said, you built something called SMSPassword. Can you tell us real quickly from a very high level, what is SMSPassword? And then we'll continue to dive into it as we move through. Sound good?
Okie-doke, yeah. SMSPassword is a two-factor authentication software. and it's mainly made for Citrix environments, but it's actually just a Radius implementation.
Interesting. So let's dive into this thing. So in general, what is two-factor authentication, and why should we care about this?
Well, the internet is a scary place at the moment. There's a lot of people trying to steal your identity, and I don't have to explain that, but a lot of companies want to add an extra layer of security on top of their username and password. So in general, two-factor authentication is proving your identity with two things. Instead of the normal username and password, you add another component which can prove that the user is actually the one who says he's.
I lost you.
Okay.
I lost you. Last thing I heard was two-factor authentication is when a user says, and then boom.
Okay. I will just repeat the answer, okay?
Perfect.
Two-factor authentication is proving your identity with two factors. Usually people log on with their username and password. And with two-factor authentication, you add a second thing that the user knows or has.
Perfect. Yeah, the internet is a scary place, to say the least. Just moving DABCC over in the past 6 months, I've been dealing with nothing but, or I won't say nothing, but I've been inundated with bots and guys trying to hack the site. And it's amazing how good the old site was. I didn't ever realize those, all the attacks we were getting. And now the new platform, it's crazy. Any given time I have at least 100 people trying to attack me.
I read on your site that you also had some problems with people posting spam, etc.
Yeah, well, I completely did away with comments, actually, and I'll bring them back. But right now, I'm just, it was such a pain in the butt, and so I figured the easiest thing to do is just completely kill them in all the, in general, right? I mean, just kill it, and then they don't have anything to attack, and then they'll go away, and then I will lock that bit down and bring it back at some point. But yeah, it's amazing. Like I said, at any given time, I have 100 people attacking me.
Yeah, it's a wild west, and especially when it comes to company data, you really need to. Just the username and password is not enough anymore. Recently, there were huge attacks, and passwords were compromised for LinkedIn and other big sites. Well, that alone is okay, not a very big issue. But if you consider that 75% of the people reuse their passwords, also in their corporate environment, then you should be scared at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So why do you think SMS is the best for two-factor authentication?
Well, as a consultant, I saw a lot of methods for two-factor authentication, and of course, we all know the RSA tokens, the hardware tokens. First of all, SMS is more user-friendly. With a token, you have to enter a passcode and a password. People tend to mix it up. And two-factor authentication via SMS is also safer because the tokens work based on a shared secret. And once the secret is compromised, then you can actually predict what the future tokens are going to be. So one thing is it's safer, and the second thing is it's more user friendly. You have to realize also that the second factor is actually reaching the user over a separate network.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a very good point. It is definitely over a different network. That's interesting. And we all have our phones too. I don't ever leave home without my phone.
Yeah.
If I do, I turn around and drive back and get it.
Yeah, people tend to forget or lose their tokens, and the phone. You don't know how quick people get a new phone if they lost them. And once their SIM card is back, they're up and running again. doesn't matter if they're wherever. They don't have to go to the office to get the token again. They're up and running once they get the phone back.
You got it. You got it. And what happens if they don't have any cell reception? If they don't have any, let's say, GSM coverage?
We have a solution for that as well. Some of our customers have like bunkers or just in a area so remote that there's no reception. And we also cover as a backup time-based tokens. Again, this method needs more setup time, so you need to distribute the private key to the user, and the user has to install an app on his phone, on his smartphone actually. So this also requires a smartphone, wherein SMS two-factor works with any phone.
Cool. So let's we're somewhat now getting ahead of ourselves, but not really, I guess. Can you describe SMS password? What exactly is it? Can you give us the architecture on it? Things like that. Can you or verbally, draw out this product for us? Make sense?
Yep. I'm gonna try to. Well, as I said before, SMSPassword is actually a Radius server implementation. It runs on runs as a Windows service, and it's basically a Radius server for typically a NetScaler or a VMware View client. And the process goes like this: users log in with their normal username and password. Then I'm going to take the example of the NetScaler here.
Please.
The NetScaler sends the username and password to the SMSPassword service. The SMSPassword service then validates those credentials against Active Directory. And depending on if they're correct, your SMSPassword looks up the mobile phone number in Active Directory and sends the SMS out to the user. Meanwhile, it responds back to the NetScaler. I need to know more of this person. I want the second factor. And the user gets a new screen where he's asked for the SMS password that was sent to his phone, and he enters it, and then the service will give a green flag if it matches, of course, to the user, and he's able to run his applications and desktops as he normally would.
Makes sense. And is this a, where would I install this thing? Is this a, what does it take to get up and running in that sense? Make sense?
Yes. Well, you install the SMS password on a server within your LAN, and it has to have Active Directory access. So it needs to be installed on a computer joined to the domain. And it has to be behind the firewall, of course. So,
cool. Any other requirements?
You have to have .NET Framework 4.0 or newer. That's usually included with modern server OSs. Sure. Active Directory, a radius-capable device like a NetScaler, VMware Horizon, Cisco ASA. A domain joined server to install the software. This can be 2008 or 2012. A domain administrator account and an internal or external SMS dispatcher. And for redundant setups, you need to have a load balancer that is capable of load balancing Radius.
Very cool. So let's get back to SMS. And this is so. How does can you talk a bit about how the SMS piece works? So for example, do you have that stuff distributed, things of that nature? Make sense?
Yeah. Well, it's up to the customer how they want to dispatch the SMS messages. In general, we support two methods. One method is utilizing external parties who dispatch the SMS messages. Or one can choose to purchase a modem and have the device in their own LAN, which is actually safer because you're actually using the second network for your second factor.
Makes sense. So, you're definitely an old Citrix guy, and this is you market this around NetScaler and things like that. But it doesn't just work with Citrix. You mentioned VMware Horizon also. What kind of support do you have for other products other than just Citrix?
Yeah, well, we started creating it for Citrix NetScaler, but it's just as I said, it's a radius server. So everything that talks radius can talk with SMSPassword. And yeah, usually it's a VMware View, Juniper VPNs, Cisco ASAs. The F5 also works with radius. So yeah, that's what we support.
Cool. Are there any additional configurations required? That's out of the box type of stuff to get it working with something like a VMware View.
No. The only thing you need to do is say to the radius server, the SMSPassword servers, these are the clients. So you have to enter the Juniper IP address or the VMware View server IP address, which will allow the VMware View server, which is actually a radius client, to talk to the SMSPassword service.
Cool. So let's talk about the management of it. So how does one manage SMSPassword? Is there a console? It's installed, it's running. Now what?
No, the idea behind SMSPassword was to integrate as much as possible in existing standards. For example, we didn't want to create a separate console for normal day management. To get SMSPassword up and running, you have to do two things. First of all is enter the mobile property in Active Directory. And you can just do this with the Active Directory tools you normally use, Active Directory users and computers. And just go to the properties of the user and go to the mobile field and fill in the mobile phone. And the second thing you have to do is add a user to the SMSPassword group. These two things alone are enough for daily management, so there's no separate console.
Very cool, very cool. That it just makes it very simple for the admin to get the thing up and running. I love it. I love it.
Exactly. There's no need to train your help desk in a separate console or give them access to a separate console.
I wanted to ask you if you need separate servers or anything like that, but it sounds like you don't. But I want to throw the question: maybe there's something I'm missing. Can I install this on an existing server, or do I need?
Yeah, absolutely. SMSPassword is a very light installation. Actually, the installation package is under 3 megabytes, and you can easily combine it with an existing storefront server or even a domain controller. Actually, a lot of customers choose to do that.
Cool. Makes total sense there. What about cost? So I know you guys have a really good cost point, so I wanted to bring this up. Can you explain what it takes to what it costs? I guess.
Yeah, well, one of the questions we get a lot is how about the SMS cost? Actually, this is 2016, and a lot of customers have a mobile plan which has a flat fee for SMS messages. So yeah, they utilize this flat fee plans to send out text messages, which reduces the cost a lot. That is, of course, if you don't choose an external dispatcher, because external dispatchers usually charge per SMS.
Yeah, I imagine that's one of the areas where it costs money. But what about the product itself?
The product itself is sharply priced. It's non-reoccurring cost. So you buy a client access license. It's you buy it once and then you can use it till the end of time. Another thing, our solution is totally on premises. So it's that's why a lot of people choose us, because they're not depending on a radius server of somebody else.
Absolutely. You want that data on-prem for sure. See what else I want to ask you about schema changes. So you're dealing with AD. Are there any schema changes? Anything Are you?
No. One of the goals was to minimize the impact on our solutions as much as possible. So we utilize existing fields. As I said before, we utilize the mobile field, and the rest is done via the group membership. So no schema changes required.
Very cool. Licenses. I want to jump back with licenses. I wrote this down and I forgot it. So, are licenses bound to a user or to a company? How's that work?
No, for example, if you buy a 100 client access licenses, this is just a free pool. If somebody leaves the company, the replacement can use the license, so they're not bound to a specific name.
Perfect, but it is per user licensing, not concurrent, right?
Exactly.
Makes sense. Can people try? If someone wants to learn more, can they try SMS Password? And at the same time? Of
course.
Cool.
Yeah. We offer a free trial for a maximum of 2 users. This is to see if the setup works in your environment, and a lot of people do that.
Perfect, and because it's non-intrusive, it's just you can plug this thing in, try it out. You can even do it in more like a little group proof of concept, or when we
exactly.
Yeah.
We offer a total risk-free installation for customers. If they are interested, they can try the software, see if it works in their environment with their setup, with their network, and with their people. Once they satisfied and confident that they can get it to run, they order the licenses. This is usually how we do the sales
perfect
process.
And what about like support and things like that? What kind of support do you give? Will you help them set it up? Things like that.
No, to be able to deliver SMS password for a lowest price possible, we choose to do the support separately. So we of course have good manuals online, but if you require installation help, we can offer that for extra costs.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Well, I think that's about what I have. I want to jump into my last couple questions, which are competition in the future. So, there are a lot of guys out there doing, two-factor authentication type of solutions. Why should we care about what you guys are doing versus the competition?
First of all, it's a totally on-premises solution. It can totally run on your spot. So that's an important thing for a lot of people. They want to be in control. Second of all, we don't have reoccurring costs, and we also have a very sharp pricing model.
Absolutely. Well, that makes a lot of sense. So, future. So, what can we expect from you guys in the future?
Well, we're talking with Citrix about the successor of Radius, which is Diameter. This is not yet. You're not yet able to use Diameter as an authentication protocol for your NetScaler. But this is one of the things we have planned for the future, and also we're trying to investigate if a password reset module is also an option.
Interesting. And can you, for those who aren't familiar with Diameter, can you talk a bit about that? What it is?
Yeah, well, in general, Diameter is the successor of Radius. Radius is rather old, still used a lot. It works with a shared secret, and Diameter is just a smarter protocol and much more secure than Radius. But I'm not very sure if the market is pushing a lot to get to a Diameter, because usually this Radius traffic is on the LAN, so the need for extra security is, how to say it? Yeah.
Do you see
it's
issues
usually,
with Radius? I mean, are there vulnerabilities with it? There's a reason to move away from it, things like that?
well, the support for accounting is not really very good, to say the least. If people want to change their password or the password expires, that is only partly supported by Radius, and Diameter is better on that field. But yeah, well, at the moment, yeah, Citrix has decided not to build in support for Diameter as for now. So yeah, that says a lot. The market is not really screaming for it to say.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Now, if somebody wants to, that's Dennis. That's great. I mean, this is really interesting stuff. If somebody wants to learn more, head over to your website. I imagine you guys have videos, white papers. They can download it. Can you give us a
Yeah,
little more info there?
absolutely. Yeah, you go to our site, fill in a contact form. We also have all our documentation online. So you can go ahead and just have a look at all the manuals, how to set it up for NetScaler or VMware View. We just put it all online so people can learn ahead before purchasing. They can learn everything about it.
Perfect. And Dennis, I think that's what I have for you today. I love it. If yeah, what else do I say? I'll go ahead and give you the last word, and we'll call this a podcast. Sound good?
Okay, yeah. I think we discussed everything we need to talk about. I think we went through everything, right?
Yeah, I think so too. If there's anything at all we left out or anything you want to add, now's your time, or forever hold your peace.
Well, there's one little thing at the moment. We have a promotion going on during the summer months. If you order 250 client access license, there's a free iPhone.
Okay.
Yeah, details about this promotion can be found on our site. So.
Excellent. Well, there's a reason to get your company to order a bunch of licenses. You get yourself a free iPhone. Can they wait and get the iPhone 7?
We don't know. Not that maybe we will, but for this promotion, we have iPhone 6s,
cool.
6s Plus to be precise.
I have one of those
That's
pluses.
A bigger model.
It's so giant in my hands. I used to think I had big hands until I tried the iPhone 6 Plus. And I was like, darn.
Okay.
I need
And
bigger
you
hands.
like the big format, or?
I actually wish Apple went smaller, believe it or not. I wish, like the iPod, the iPod that looks like an iPhone. I wish they had a phone that was that size. And there's no reason they can't. I mean, they can do it. They can do that. And that's what I would love. It would fit perfectly in my pocket, and away I go. I don't need all the power in my phone. I don't need to, I'm not watching videos on my phone. And if I do, a couple, an inch doesn't really matter to me. So
Okay. Yeah,
I
have to say, I used to be, when I saw the people with the Samsung Note phones, I declared them crazy because they were huge. Yep. And to be honest, I'm on that format now too. So yeah, I turn around.
Yeah.
I like the big format because browsing is really good, and I got quite big hands, so typing is a little bit easier on a big phone. So yeah.
Yeah, the typing is definitely easier because I have a 6S. That's just a 6S and a 6 Pro. And the 6 Pro is my Europe phone, and the 6S is my American phone. So when I'm in Europe, I have a really easy time typing because the keyboard's big and my thumbs are fat. But when I'm here, I like to hold it and I don't drop the thing constantly. Luckily, I hold it really tight when I'm on concrete or something like that. But when when I'm sitting in my office or laying in bed, I'm constantly dropping that darn big phone. Anyway, we digress. Dennis, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.
You're welcome.
I really enjoyed the conversation, and I look forward to learning more about what you guys are doing and watching you guys grow this product. So thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Okay, so that concludes another successful episode of DABCC Radio. As always, I want to thank my guest for today, Dennis from SMSPassword. and definitely check out what these guys are doing. Again, that's SMS Password. So just head over to smspassword.com and away you go. They have a bunch of videos. We'll also have them in the show notes too. So if you want to just look at the show notes, there they are. But it's really easy, clean, simple application that just works. That, like we mentioned, there's no admin interface. It just works, guys. So try it out. Download it. Install it on one of your test boxes and have some fun with this thing. I think you guys will really like it. It gives you that added level of authentication without a lot of cost and without a lot of headache. And that's what I love about what these guys are doing. So, and they're picking up a lot of really great customers. So I think you guys will like it. On that note, I hope you guys enjoy the show. If you do, please tell a friend. Also, head on over to dabcc.com. We rebuilt the thing from the ground up, and it's beautiful. It's fast. Every day is almost a record day of traffic now, as people are hitting the site and saying, wow, this is beautiful, or they haven't hit the site in a while, and they go, wow, this has all changed. This is so easy to use. I love it. And the feedback's been great. So, if you like it, please tell a friend. If you really, really like it, tell me. If you don't like it, definitely tell me. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and call this a podcast. But thanks to each and every one of you guys for making DABCC Radio a success. You guys are the reason that I do this, is for you, and I appreciate all the great feedback and what have you. So with no further ado, let's just say, without any more rambling from me, let's just say thank you for listening to DAB.
Can you say DABCC?
DABC.
Say it again, DABCC.
DABC.
Can you say it again, DABCC?
DABC.
How about DABCC?
DABC.
DABCC.
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 DABCC.